Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. So today I wanted to go over all the books that I'm looking forward to reading this fall. Honestly, pretty much all of these are just based off of like the cover or just like the genre themselves. For some reason I relate to fall. There's really no reason behind these, but yeah. So we will start off with the 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. This one I picked up recently, and honestly, I really don't know anything about this book. I saw it and just decided to pick it up. Next up, we have The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chosky. Again, I just kept seeing this on Instagram and decided to buy it. It's so unsatisfying when the sticker does not come off in one. So this one basically is about a guy and girl get married. The girl's aunt ends up becoming sick and they go back to her childhood home. He starts seeing the like ghost of her best friend who went missing as a child and is torn between the two of them. So that sounded really interesting to me, so I'm really looking forward to getting to that book. This one is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This one's about Dracula's wife. Vampires and fall, they just go together. Next we have The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten. This one is like has gothic vibes to it, so that is why I'm relating it to fall. I wanted to read this last month and never got to it, so I'm putting it on my fall TBR. So this one, the main character has like these powers. She's doing a job and gets caught by the king's monks, and she's expecting to be put to death for her job that she was doing. But instead, the king hires her to use her powers to find out why entire villages are pretty much dying overnight, and he suspects that his son is behind it. I'm looking forward to this book. Also, next up, we have The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrews. This one, again, just gives off gothic vibes to me, so I'm putting it for fall. So this one is about a girl who is deaf who ends up getting into a university, and she ends up having a encounter with a boy that she tries to stay away from, but they end up happening to team up after another student winds up dead. Next up, we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't really have any rhyme or reason as to why I'm putting this in my fall and why it gives off fall vibes to me, but it does. This one is about a girl who dropped out of school early, kind of gets in to like the wrong crowd, and at 20 she is at her hospital bedside and she gets offered into Yale's freshman class for a full ride. And this says, their 8 windowless tombs are the well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politicos to Wall Street's biggest players, but their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. Next up, we have Court of the Vampire Queen. Again, vampires. This one is a reverse harem about a girl. Her dad is the king. She ends up giving her away to like another kingdom leader, I believe he is. So it's about her with the kingdom leader and his 2 friends. Then we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is like 3rd month that I have put this on my TBR and never got to it, so I'm hoping August I get to this. I'm hoping this is the next book I read. I'm not gonna give like a synopsis because I've given that in like the last 3 book videos I've done. It's getting a bit repetitive at this point. Next up we have The Thick Boy. We have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've had this on my TBR for probably like 8 months now, maybe even longer. I don't know how long it's been. It feels like it's been forever. This feels like one of the first books that I got when I got back into reading. But this one, just the cover alone, I don't know why it makes me think of fall. I'm gonna read the synopsis to this one because I really don't think I could give like a shorter synopsis if I tried. My brain's just not working. So this one says, the House of Barathnet has ruled Inus for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabrin the Ninth must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction, but assassins are getting closer to her door. These names, I'm gonna go with Eid. Eid Durian is an outsider at court, though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting. She is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Eid keeps a watchful eye on Sabrin, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Across the Dark Sea, Connie has trained to be a dragon rider since she was a child, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the divided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. This one's probably gonna be like one of the last ones I read, because I don't know when I'm gonna be in the mindset to read something this big. Next up, we have Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, and this is where this one I had in like my last month's TBR. I never got to it. I haven't really read any books this month. I literally have not finished one, and it is the middle of July. This is not a good reading month for me. Anyway, this is where Mara, her sister, ends up getting married away. Her husband is abusive. Nobody's doing anything about it, so she makes a deal with a witch to do 3 impossible tasks. If she completes them, then the witch will give her the like ability she needs to be able to save her sister. It's a pretty short book. I'm really looking forward to this one. The cover just gives me fall vibes. Next up, we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one is a wedding that happens on a remote island. Somebody ends up murdered, and it's pretty much only the wedding party that are the suspects, so they're trying to figure out who did it. I don't really have a reason that this gives me fall, but I just relate mysteries and thrillers to fall. And last up, we have The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. This one is about a lawyer who, her husband is a writer and is like having writer's block, so he goes to their cabin to like try and get out of it, I guess, but he has a mistress that he takes up there with him. She ends up murdered in that cabin, and he is the prime suspect, and the wife is the one defending him. I think really wanting to do a reread of the Cruel Prince series, and I read that series last fall, so I relate that to fall time. And I think that might be why I'm getting such an itch to reread it, but I might do that one too. But other than that, those are all the books that give me fall vibes that I want to read. Let me know down in the comments if there's any books that you relate to fall, whether they're like fall themed or not. Let me know. I'm always looking for book recommendations, so throw them down in there. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to keep up with all my future videos, and I will see you in the next one.